Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're doing something a little different. We are working on a drift car, but it's not a Mustang. Today we're working on Ronnie's 3rd gen Camaro. So long story short on this bad boy, it is LS swapped, and he has this Aki sump here to protect the engine. And at the last event, the power for the solenoid, basically it shorted out and wasn't delivering power to the solenoid, and so oil was allowed to go in and then it wasn't allowed to come back out. So basically the engine ran low on oil pressure, and this is now a fresh engine because the other one got hurt. So I say fresh, this is just a high mileage short block, and then it's his head and cam package, which luckily the cam and all that was fine. So it just swapped the cams and the cam and heads over. So anyway, because of all that, and he's doing some fab work on the S197 for me. Ronnie's the guy that did the cage, and he's doing some extra fab work for me. So kind of as a trade of labor, I'm rewiring his whole car, and I got him a Holley Terminator X for it. So the car has been on a stock ECU right now here, and a custom harness that somebody else had made. And I say custom is just like stuff has been deleted off of it, but as you can see, it's kind of crummy. It honestly is. There's very little loom, and we are going to make him an entire harness out of the supplies that I have. This is the Terminator, some extra wiring bits for the Terminator. I got him a new switch panel, a relay box, and a mounting kit for the switch panel, and some loom and such. But we are literally pulling every single wire out of this car and completely redoing it all. So the Holley obviously comes with the engine harness side of things, but the complete body harness and all the power leads and everything for the engine management system and such is all getting replaced. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to get the car up on jack stands so I can get underneath of it to get any of the wiring from underneath. And we're going to start stripping this thing. So let's get to it. The entire engine harness, body harness is out. We have a couple of grounds that I went ahead and just left for now, and then the headlight wiring, but everything else is out. Engine harness, body harness. And next I'm going to start mounting up the switch panel. I think we're going to put it up here on this bar up top, and then I'll start routing the wires to its relay panel. It's going to go into the dash somewhere. I haven't decided exactly where, but that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with the switch panel and get the that harness all routed to start. Be honest, I kind of got lost in the sauce and didn't really take too much video. We are on a time crunch. Like, this car has to be ready, driving in competition ready in reality in less than a week. So I'm just kind of burying my head in it and getting it done, and I'm just going to update you guys along the way. So it's been like, I don't know, 9 hours since the last video that you just saw, and this is where we're at so far. So this is his switch that he's had in the car the whole time. I've got the wires, so I've got a starter and the relay box, the bus bar wire. I got them loomed. I haven't taped it yet. I'm gonna tape it, don't worry. I have really nice tape for this stuff. So anyway, it's running along the side here. It's down up into here. Again, I'm just stopping point. It's not loomed yet, it's gonna get loomed. And then I've got the one that comes up into the bus bar here, which then supplies power to all these relays and to this panel. And then I've got, this is my starter relay command, or solenoid command, and then those run out to the starter. And so now, I'll just show you real quick. So if I click that on, this little guy does a little light dance, and then this is our starter. So yeah, that's where we're at so far, day one. Like I said, this video is gonna be updates as I make progress. So this isn't a how-to, this isn't in-depth. This is what you're gonna be seeing. So we're gonna get it done though, and I'm gonna go to bed because it's late. I don't have a clock. The clock is my phone, so it's past midnight. So anyway, I'm gonna get to bed and back on this in the morning. So I'll see you then. Well, it is the next day and I already did some stuff. I've got fresh alternator wire already loomed up and down to the starter. I redid some of the grounds that he had. These were just like wound up and like, 5 feet long for, not needing to be that long. Same thing over here. This one was ran from the head and it went all the way up to the fender over here. So I already have a P-clamp here that's going to bare metal anyway. And the alternator power wires are running through this P-clamp, but they're going to be isolated in a harness and all that. So this nice, short, simple run. Next, I'm going to tackle the fans, the AccuSump, and the front lights. And I think the fans, I'm going to run into probably their own connectors. I think I'm going to run a 1 4-pin connector for these. And then the headlights and the AccuSump, I think I'm going to run into a 3-pin connector so that all of these, basically there should be only like 2 connectors up here. I do want them separate. That way, we're not having weird things like trying to pull the fans or anything like that. So anyway, and then these already have these extra connectors anyway, but I want to make something back here that is easy for everything in the front to be disconnected from the harness. So like if you ever need to remove the harness for any reason, there's 1 connector here. You don't have to go find 3 of them. You just have 1 connector here and then 1 connector here for the fans, and boom, the harness is out. And then same thing with the fans, like, oh, you only have 1 connector, you can pull the fan straight out. So anyway, that's where I'm gonna start next. I'm gonna start getting those lines all ran. So I'm really bad about getting lost in the sauce, but I found a good stopping point, I think. Like, I stopped myself. So just ignore this yellow wire that's sitting here, just ignore that. So anyway, connector for the fans, grounds for the fans, and then connector for the AccuSump and both headlights. And then you've got the ground for this headlight. There's the harness coming through. We got that connector for the headlight. This harness goes behind the AccuSump. And then we've got it tied into the AccuSump here. Ground for, this is the original ground for the AccuSump, and then ground for the headlight, and then the headlight connector. So got all that done and situated. Now I'm working on getting the main harness from inside the car out to these connectors. So I'm starting with the AccuSump, but AccuSump, headlights, fans, I'm gonna get all that wired in. That's the next goal I've got. The front portion of the body harness is done, loomed, all set in. So I've got 2 blue wires, 1 for each fan hot wire, 2 greens, 1 for each headlight, a yellow for the AccuSump, Our starter wire and starter solenoid wire goes down into there. Our 2 radiator fan grounds, block ground to the chassis, and then those run all tidied up, all loomed, right down the frame rail, through the firewall, and then this is where they're all coming up into the dash. So these are all those wires, your headlights, the fans, AccuSump, all that stuff, and then our starter wire. So currently, I believe what I'm gonna do is the headlights, I'm gonna run those directly to this fuse box because there's not much load on them. This thing maxes out at, like, it says 60 amps. So that's gonna be our like kick on for the ECU and for lighting. That's it. And then everything else is on the box over here that's got the big 40 amp. It's ready for like 200 amps or something crazy. So anyway, the thing with the lights though, I'm gonna run them into a single pin over there, so it's one switch that turns them on. I can't finalize that yet because we don't have taillights for the car. So he had some LED strips before and it never had brake lights. The brake lights I'm not super worried about in the sense of wiring them in. That can, I mean, I can tie that into the harness over here and such, but we have to have lights for that to like finalize this rear harness. I can go ahead and run the fuel pump lines, the power line, fat power feed for the fuel pumps back, but I can't finalize this dash portion until I have lights to go back there. I mean, I am gonna run basically just 2 wires, so I could probably run 2 wires back there, but I just don't know lengths yet. So, because I don't know the exact setup we're gonna go with, if we're just putting taillights in it, or if we're putting some sort of LEDs that we're just gonna have to make work. So, that being said though, the entire front portion is done, and now I think I'm just gonna go ahead and start messing with the fuel pump lines, start messing with the back half of the harness, and get that finished up, and then we'll go from there. We'll see what we get to next. So, let's get to that. We're back at it, and I am going to go ahead and start looming all of the harness from last night. So all this stuff I was talking about previously, I'm gonna go ahead and get all of this loomed up, all the way up to those connectors, basically just, you know, a couple inches before them, but get all this loomed up so I can finalize it, and then the body harness should be done. And then once the body harness is done, I can start laying the Holley on the car. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to looming all this, and I'll update you when I'm there. When I'm done with that, when it's the next step, I'll update you when we're done. Well, I got the harness all finalized. Everything is loomed up, connected, all the way to the back here. I haven't done the fuel pump harness side, but the main harness is all loomed up, ready to go, front to back. And Ronnie's here. He's helping me out a little bit. He's getting the, he got the O2 sensors out. He's currently doing the injectors because we're going up to FIC 1000. He's gonna get that done, and I'm gonna start messing with the Holley. So, are we having fun yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Injectors.
All right, I'm gonna go mess with the Holley. So last night, when Ronnie came over, we kind of just put our heads down and started cranking out as much as we could last night. Last night I showed you guys the body harness, got all that done, and then after that, Ronnie helped me he went ahead and got the injectors in, he got the wideband down into the exhaust, and then I started getting the Terminator all put on and connected. So this is the alternator kick-on wire, so I got to run that inside to a key-on power. But we've got the Terminator in here, all mounted up, everything all roughly routed for now. I also have so these are the inputs and outputs, and I need 2 of these for both of the fans, 1 for each fan. This needs to get constant power for fuel pump relay, and then kick-on for relay. So this is going to be what drives the relay in that box, because we're not sure if the fuel pump is over 10 amps, but we're kind of just guessing. So just in case, those are rated for 40 amps. So we're going to go ahead and run this, and they each get their own. So anyway, run this to kick on the fuel pumps. The kick on for the fans though is ground. and I have the fuse box set up for power kick on. So what I have to do is the gray is all of the grounds linked together, and then the little tracer or the little wire that matches the color is supposed to be the kick on wire. So for blue and black, I have to reverse them. I'm gonna have to cut this probably over in this area, turn this into power, and then turn the blue line into ground. And then do the same on the black. But the black one is a little bit more difficult because it's further back in the chain. So I have to splice in, I have to make a jumper to a different portion of the gray wire to keep all the other relays happy, and then make that one reverse to where black is the black wire is ground and the gray wire is power. So anyway, I'm gonna get to doing this portion of it, and then I'll wire in the inputs and outputs and the fuel pump, and then we should be good to fire up. So we'll see how this goes. So you may notice we are not in my garage. We're actually at Ronnie's place, and there's a whole long story to it, but long story short, Ronnie's car is done. So let's go over all the wiring and such real quick. So here's the rear wiring for the taillights, and the fuel pump go down into there, all loomed up to connectors here and all the way down through there. And then we have the battery box. Oh yeah, kill switch, of course. And then that harness comes down through here. There's also a secondary little harness. Hold on, here we go. That is for the power for the Terminator. And so that harness runs down through here. We've got the Terminator mounted up over here. And so I was gonna zip tie all this stuff up, and we're just leaving it as it is for the time being because we're still doing testing with the car, still needs to get tuned and all that. And so just in case we have any issues, we're just leaving it down and out of or down here for easy access. But I got the like I was talking about, I got those wires flipped in that relay box. So now the Terminator can kick on the fans, kick on the fuel pump, so he doesn't have to deal with any of that kind of stuff. And his switch panel up here, the top or the far left on the top is your ignition on, the one to the right of that is your starter, and then the bottom left is the lights. So yeah, so all of it is working. He's already been to an event with it. The car really needs an actual good tune. I just did some research online and basically built a very safe base map, and it does fine. It still runs and all that, so like that's okay. It just doesn't make the power it should. It's not as clean of a power band as it should be and such. So, but that's on the list of things. That's not what this is all about. I did all the wiring in it, got the Holley set up and all that. So that was the whole premise of what I was doing here for him, and it was successful. We got all that done. So if you want any updates on this car or anything that Ronnie is doing build-wise, his Instagram, I'll put up here on the video. And if you guys ever need any fab work or anything of that sort, he's actually doing some stuff to my car. He's the one that did the cage, and he's doing some more fab work to my car currently. It's kind of why I'm over here. We're talking about it. But yeah, if you guys need any kind of fab work and you're in the Central Florida area, hit him up on Instagram. Just send him a DM and tell him what you need, and he'll see how he can help you out. But anyways, that's all I got for this. And the next video is actually going to be really soon. We're doing a bunch of stuff to my car. Big build plans for this year, so you'll be seeing that soon. But anyway, if you like this kind of content, please give me a like. If you want to see more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you have anything you want to say, any comments, suggestions, anything at all, leave me a comment. Let me know what's up. But until next time, bye.